what's life like? You mostly played first base, DH in your career. Right field?
Right field, yeah.
Is that different?
It's definitely different. I think it's been fun to actually get to be a full-time outfielder. Like, I'm doing the outfield drills. I'm shagging every day. I'm like practicing throwing, from right field. So it's been fun to like dive into it full time. Because in the past, it's been like, hey, you're a first baseman, but like, hey, today you're going to play right, and then back to first base. So to be able to like full on get after it and be a right fielder, my mind's been fun. And I know it's going to be a lot of work. I know it's going to be a lot of running. But I feel like I'm as prepared for it as I can be.
Are you tired from all the running? All the shagging to the first base, you get some grounders, you flip a couple here and there.
No, there's definitely some more ground to cover. That's a fact. But no, I'm not too tired. I feel good. I'm excited about it. Yeah. Some days it's really chill. And then some days it's really not chill. So it just depends on the day.
All right, Oneil Cruz has been gone. Your center fielder has been gone. Have you gotten to play out there yet with him in center field?
Yes, I think maybe like 3 or 4 times before he went and did the WBC. But, obviously that guy's tooled up out of his mind. I'm going to kind of be peeking at him, stay out of his way, let him do his thing.
That's what I want to get
over by him.
Yeah, I promise you I can't throw the ball 105 from the outfield, and I'm probably half as fast as he is. So I'm going to just stay in my lane, take care of the balls that I should catch, and then don't let him be Superman.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, are you going to look over and like if he moves, you're going to be like, all right, you got this. And will there be a ball in the right center gap where you're both getting there at the same time and you're like, Oneil, I got this one. I'll throw it in. Or are you just going to get it and flip it to him and be like, here you go, take it. And then he just fires at John.
Maybe a little bit of both. I mean, I'm definitely going to be peeking at him. Running into him in the outfield is probably like the last thing that I want to do. I don't know if you've seen it, but it looks like he's added about, 25 pounds of muscle, and he's a monster. So I don't want to run into that guy.
I always joke. We were here last year, and he walked by, and McCutcheon was here. And he goes, have you seen that guy? And I said, yeah, he looks like an avatar.
Yeah.
Movie Avatar?
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
He does.
It's just unbelievable up close.
No, he's a freak. Absolutely.
How just in shape and what he looks like.
It's like he takes 3 steps jogging, and he covers like what it takes in like 10 steps for me.
So it's easier for him, though, to cover the whole outfield.
If I had legs that long and I had an arm that could, throw balls like that, I'd be pretty excited.
Can you hit a ball 120 like he does?
Nope, absolutely not. And I'm not going to try to, because then I'll just roll over and it'll be the end of the inning. Double play.
Ryan, seriously,
stick to like 102, 103 is plenty of X and be like.
How much more important is communication in the outfield than perhaps it is in the infield? Is it more important? I don't know. You tell me.
Definitely coming from first base. There's not a whole lot of communication at first base. Maybe like that tweener ball between first and second. But, definitely in the outfield, I think it's a lot more like being able to like take your eyes off the fly ball, peek at your center fielder, see where you're at. And I think, as we get going into this thing, we'll get used to, we'll get some tweener balls between him and I, and we'll get that communication figured out. But so far, it's been great, man. Oneil's been awesome. He's, easy to talk to. He's loud. He, calls the ball, communicates. So, I feel pretty good about it.
What was the conversation like? Because normally you're like, okay, somebody that doesn't play a lot of outfield, you're going to go to left. But for people who don't know, PNC is left field is like playing center field. Did they even come up to you and go, do you want to try to play left? Or were they like, no, you're not playing left. You're playing the shorter porch and right.
Yeah, well, I actually asked to be in right because I'm just, for whatever reason, I've been on that side of the diamond like my entire career. So it just feels more comfortable in right field than it has in left. And, when I was in Baltimore, it was kind of the same thing, shorter porch and right. So I played more in right field. So it kind of works out in that way where PNC, shorter porch and right. And I'm already comfortable on that side of the diamond anyway. So I asked initially, obviously it's like, hey, if you need me to play left, I'll play left. But I'm a little bit more comfortable in right at this point.
What hand do you throw with?
My left hand.
Oh, you know where you can play on the field if you're left-handed?
Yes, I have a
first base.
Yes.
Exactly. We try to keep you guys. We try to keep you guys on that.
No one has ever asked me to play shortstop. So.
Yes. What if they did? What if DK said, Rye, Konnor Griffin's down today. We really need a shortstop. Do you think you could cover it?
It would definitely be worthwhile watching. I don't know if
Don Mattingly played third a game.
Don Mattingly played third. He could do it. I've seen that video of him making that play at the slow chopper at third. Yeah, I don't think that it would look very pretty, but I could probably get some outs. Maybe
Would you knock
if it was hit hard enough.
Would you knock it down and then pick it up and panic?
No, I'm smooth jazz over there. I come through, snag it, make the throw, no big deal.
Brian, did you guys rally? Not rally. That's probably not the right word. But did you lobby for Kutch coming back? I know that's above your pay grade. I'm not trying to put you in a bad spot, but is it a little strange being at camp wearing a Pirates hoodie without Andrew McCutchen around?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a tough subject because of what Kutch has meant to the organization and the fans here for so long. With that being said, I just got here. Like, I'm not making any demands or telling them who I think they should sign. Like you said, that's above my pay grade. But obviously, there's traces of what Kutch has meant to this organization over the last few years, and it's obvious. Guys still talk about him and how great he was in the clubhouse and the kind of guy and player he is. So nothing but respect for Kutch. And he's not on our team, so respect for what he's done in the organization over the years. And but the 2026 Pirates are gonna move forward without him, and I'm pretty excited about the group that we have.
Fair. Can you hit a ball into the river?
I'm gonna try. Definitely gonna try.
In the game.
We'll see. I mean, I think I need to try and BP to see how much effort it takes to get it out there. But I never hit a ball on Utah Street, which still bugs me. So
me neither.
I want to get a ball in the river at some point. Even on a hop, I don't care. I just want to see the video of me hitting the ball and then watching it go in the river. And
I hit one in the bay in San Francisco, and
that's probably cooler, I think.
So kind of cool. Especially when I was a Giant.
The idea of people sitting in a canoe waiting for it to happen, and then it happens, and then they jump off the canoe into the freezing bay to get your baseball. It's
it was a little different when I played, though. I had Barry there, so he hit them all the time.
There was no big deal for
it. There was all the people.
They weren't waiting for you.
They were not waiting for me to hit it. They were not expecting me to be the guy to hit one.
Yeah.
So it is pretty odd.
I wonder, do you think they were disappointed when they got the ball?
Yeah, they're like,
you hit it?
Rob hit it in there 100%. 100%. Have you talked? I mean, not have you talked. Konnor Griffin's kind of the talk of camp.
Yeah.
Have you discussed with him if he makes the team what it's going to be like on opening day? That's because you're a veteran on this team. You're an older guy on this team. Go around and talk to a young guy like Konnor.
Yeah, I mean, I try to talk to him as much as possible. He's been great, man. He reminds me of, I've had the pleasure of getting to play with Bobby Witt, Gunnar, Jackson, all these guys that are so highly touted, and he's no different, man. He's super mature. I can't believe he's 19 because he looks like a grown man, and he's mature as they come. So I've been really impressed with him. Even when he makes outs, he hits the ball 105 miles an hour. He's making every play on defense. He's been awesome to watch, and I'm excited to play with him, whether that's on opening day or whenever they decide to bring him up. I think he's going to be really good for our team.
What is the most impressive superpower? Speed, maturity, size, power, arm strength. What is his most impressive superpower?
Oh man, I mean, all of the baseball attributes just seem to come so easy for him. So I'm going to say the maturity, because it's if you watch him take batting practice, the power is crazy. Watch him run, the speed is crazy. His defense is so good. It's all of that is just so natural. But when you take that whole package as a player and you pair it with the fact that he's really mature, he doesn't, if he gets out or gets fooled or whatever, it just seems like it doesn't really faze him. And I think that's for a lot of guys that takes time for that to come. But for him, seems like he's right there. Mentally, he's right where he needs to be, and and I'm sure that win some points with the front office making their decision on when to bring him up.
Ryan Patrick O'Hearn, happy St. Patrick's Day. Is this a big deal in your life?
Yeah. Yes. My dad is just stoked for this day every year. He's
this
so
excited. This is
his
day.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah. I'm sure he's had a few green beers already. I'm sure he's looking for some corned beef and cabbage. And,
I love corned beef.
Yeah. He already asked me if there's a pub around here that sells Kilkenny. They're at Kilkenny.
Yeah.
It's his favorite beer.
Is he in Bradenton?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, he's
awesome.
And yesterday was his birthday.
Do you ask if there's a Bennigan's around here?
I don't even know if Bennigan's is still open. But yeah, it's a big deal in our family.
Well, happy birthday too.
Yeah, he turned 70 yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. So it's a big spring training, big couple days for him. So as soon as this game's over, I'm gonna go hang out with him, have a couple green beers.
Couple green beers. All right, last question, super random. You're in Bradenton. Have you smelled them burning the orange rinds? Because there's like some kind of like oranges factory production thing behind the stadium. Have you smelled that? Usually on Tuesdays is when they burn it. Have they done that?
No.
What the
I
heck?
haven't smelled any burning oranges out
I don't know what he's talking about.
I feel like there's a school behind the field.
I don't know what he's
Oh,
talking about.
there's
This is what Kratz is talking
In
about
left.
right now.
There's a school in left, but there's something like back in right field, back past where they put the new additions on. Anyway, it smelled terrible.
No, I haven't. But next Tuesday, I'm going to be outside sniffing around.
Well, you know what day it is today?
This Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
I don't smell it.
I don't smell nothing,
You know-
Kratz.
Yeah,
Are you making that up?
Just because Kratz is a hater on Florida, he's trying to make people think it stinks better. and by the way, the only thing that smells good around here, they have like a hamburger, a smash burger.
I smell that. Yeah.
Now that, and it's like one of the best burgers in the state, and it's a food truck right outside. It's not even in the stadium; it's outside. If you haven't tried it when you come to Bradenton and Pirate City, or I guess this isn't really Pirate City, you got to try one of those. Before we let you go, one thing you're looking forward to in Pittsburgh, and you can't be a Permane Brothers sandwich.
You know what I'm looking forward to is opening day at home, because I played an opening. Obviously, that's a cop-out answer, but like just to see the fans, man, just to get in the stadium full of fans, and I want to get a big hit and just hear the crowd, because there's nothing like that, and especially being on a new team, everyone talks about how great the fans are here, especially when the team's good. I think the team's going to be good, and I'm excited to see how the fans support us.
Get your first Bucko blast.
Oh, yes. I
Fire
can't
the
wait.
cannonball.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Well, Ryan O'Hearn, one of the newest members of the Pittsburgh Pirates, thank you for joining us.
All right. Thanks
We
for
will
having me.
be right back on Foul Territory after the break.
This one's for the dudes looking for peak bedroom performance.
Blue Chew is the #1 chewable ED brand, and they just dropped their newest innovation. It is called Blue Chew Gold.
Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. Peak passion and peak performance in a single tablet.
That's right, 2 ingredients for blood flow mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. This is the future of performance. Faster, smarter, and precision engineered for results. See why millions of men trust Blue Chew. Now with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. Make life easier and discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our FT listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code FOUL. That's promo code FOUL. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Oh, I think we have the whole NL Central in that front end, but no, Don Kelly, manager of the Pirates. What's up with that?
You know what? I haven't been doing it long enough, I think, to make the clip, but maybe next year you guys can get me on there.
You had a great second half. What do you mean?
We did better, but I haven't earned that yet, I don't think.
What do you think it takes to earn that? 45-year 40 like counsel at the end?
You know what? I don't know what it takes to earn that. We're working through that right now in camp, and we'll hopefully next year I'll make the clip
today, because I walked by you earlier and talked to you and Ben Charrington, and it's one of those days in camp that as a man, this is your first time really having to do the cuts or the send downs. What is that like? Because I've never really asked a manager what that's like.
It's hard. I think that it's being a player, when you're coming up through and you get to big league camp, you get sent down for the first time. It's hard to be a player in those settings. And I think that days like today, I feel fortunate that I was on the other end and understand, we might not know exactly what these guys are going through, but we're in the ballpark and understand how hard it is for them to be in camp. You have goals of making the club, and then to be told that you're not going to be on the opening day roster. And as we know, it's going to take more than the 26 guys that start off on the big league club on opening day. It's going to take a lot more than that. So I think that looking back on my career, having been sent down a lot, DFA'd, and, different things that happen in the game that we talked about earlier, you feel fortunate that you've gone through some of the downs as well as some of the ups.
What's tougher, talking to them or knowing that you guys already had the meeting that man, like I think we're going to cut him. Because as a player, you walk in on Mondays or Tuesdays, whatever payday is, and you're like, I know people are getting cut today. So you like avoid eye contact with the bench coach and the manager. But you as a manager and even coaches, you guys know a little bit ahead of time. It's not like they walk in and like, oh, he looks cuttable.
Yeah, it does. It makes it – you try to keep everything as smooth and consistent as possible whenever you're sitting there and you see a guy saying hi, talking to them, on a daily basis. Try to keep it the same. And you do know deep down that you've had the conversations, and they're always going on, as far as how the team's going to shake out and who may or may not get cut. And it doesn't make it any easier when you call them into the office to have that conversation that they are going down.
Are you a Don Kelly's going out there type of manager, or you send Christopher Negron, your bench coach, out there?
Yeah.
You send the pitching coach out? How does that – which one of the – because I've seen both. I've seen where managers walk around, and then I've seen also where they send the bench coach or the pitching coach.
Yeah, Negron has been
He's in his own office, though. So
yeah, he does. He's got his own office, and he's earning that right now, going out and grabbing the guys. And you're right, Kratzy, the eye contact. Guys don't want to make eye contact whenever they know the cuts are coming, and you wonder. Sometimes it's hard to find guys too. I've done my fair share of hiding myself.
Don, along those same lines, good to be with you. I'm Alanna Rizzo. Along those same lines, how much is communication a part of this? I think guys can appreciate open door policies, the level of communication, just being honest with them, so perhaps they know where they stand in the long run and in the plan of the organization as a whole. Yeah,
that's a big part of it. When you're sitting there and you're talking to guys as camp goes and just trying to be as open and as transparent as you can. I think Leland has been such a mentor for me as a player, and then getting onto this side and managing as well. And the one thing that he's always said is you have to tell the players the truth. If you tell them the truth, they're going to hate you for a day. If you lie to them, they're going to hate you forever. And something that we try to take into account and be truthful with these guys when we're talking about the roster or playing time or anything that goes on a day-to-day basis. And that communication is a big part of it.
Do you miss planning spring training? Last year, we hung out for like 30 minutes talking about, catching up with family stuff, but also the fact that you have to plan spring training. You had to plan it all out, and now you don't, right?
I do not miss it either at all. The guys that not just here that are planning it, but around the league, there's a lot that goes into spring. There's a lot of moving parts, not just on the big league side. Like you talk about the minor league side, when we're throwing curveballs over there that we need backup pitchers, we need backup players, and we're adjusting their lineups, their rosters on a given day. So the field coordinators, bench coaches in the big leagues, and then the minor league field coordinators as well, that they're dealing with a lot more moving parts on that side. So those guys, they earn their paychecks in spring for sure, and I don't miss that part of it at all.
What about, you mentioned guys getting sent down, and guys, I'm going to ask you the name. What are we doing? What are we doing at shortstop with some guy? I think his name's Konnor Griffin.
Konnor, you've heard of him a little bit?
Yeah, I think I've heard a little bit about him.
Well, for those of you that haven't.
Did you have him in the office today?
We did not. And, not sure how that's going to shake out. Yeah. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to him 100%. Yet. He is unbelievable, mature, 19 years old. And I think that's the thing that, at least for me, trying to keep in mind is, as a 19-year-old, what's that like? When I was 19, I'm a sophomore in college trying to, figure out how to get better. And here he is fighting to make a major league team, and the talent's there, the maturity level's there, the work ethic is there. How do we develop Konnor Griffin at a rate that we know, take into account he's 19. He's only had a handful of games at AA. He has not played at AAA yet, and balance all of that for what's best for him.
He's already proven it. I mean, he's hitting 450-foot bombs in spring training off big league guy. What's there for him to? Yeah. What do you look for? I mean, I get the maturity side of it, but every time I've talked to him, and I've talked to him a few times, even talked to him today, he's just there, and you can tell he's different than you or I or Kratz or Alanna.
Way different. Well, I'll tell you what. When I was 19, when I started off the first press conference, when we were talking about the team, and they asked me about Konnor Griffin, and I told one of my buddies back home, I was like, man, I didn't look like that when I was 19. And I paused. And I was like, you know what? I never look like that, as far as this kid goes. And when him coming up, he never really played shortstop until last year. So the bat and the at bats are one thing. The development at shortstop is another thing. And not saying he's handled himself really well, and there's still room for him to continue to get better and develop. And I think as we take everything into account on a whole, how do we put him in the best position to have the best career, best career?
You don't have to tell us if he's making the team. Just give me a gladiator. Just give me a thumb.
You can stop in the middle.
Just blink one time if he's going to make the team, okay? During the rest of this interview, just blink one time. That's the only answer we need. But my question on that is, what
he's
if you
trying
guys
not to blink.
It's windy out. It's really hard.
He's trying not to blink.
It's really hard.
Sorry. Hey, it's just truth. It's just truth. But what you guys are built to win now. All the talk of the offseason, you guys made moves to win. You guys have done it. You guys are built to win. You have Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, all those guys in the pitching staff. When you have conversations about Konnor Griffin, and obviously conversations about a 40-man roster, conversations about the fact that he's young, conversations about that, who do we have behind him? Does it ever get brought up that, well, what if we don't have him for the first month and we miss the playoffs by a game? Is that harder to make that decision now, or would it be harder to live with it at the end of the season if you would miss the playoffs by one game?
Yeah, that's fair. And I think that I don't think any of us have all the answers in regards to any of, roster decisions, making the playoffs, just putting ourselves in the best position to be able to win as many games as we possibly can. And at the same time, taking every single player, whether it's Konnor Griffin or anybody else, when you're talking about Ashcraft, Chandler, Jared Jones coming back off of injury, how do we put them in the best position individually to have the most success, not only this year, but over the longevity of their career? And I think that, it takes me back to last year when we were talking about Greg Brown is our play-by-play guy, and he asked me an interesting question going into the last game, or Paul Skeens' last start last year. And he asked me, if he pitches 3 2/3, are you going to take him out of the game because he was going to have a sub-2 ERA? Caught me off guard because I did not figure that out, because to me, our number one goal is to keep every player healthy, safe, and develop them as best we can. Number 2 goal is to win the game. And then the third thing that we can accomplish as players that hopefully our guys appreciate too is we want them to accomplish any individual things that they possibly can, which sub-2 ERA is fantastic. Well, if we can keep Paul Skeens healthy and he's at a good pitch count, and he gives us, which there's no doubt, he gives us the best chance to win, I'm not taking him out of a game, even at 3 2/3, to accomplish a sub-2 ERA. And he ended up going out and earning even better and had a 1.97. So I think in taking all of that into account, keeping guys healthy, safe, develop them at the pace that they need to win games and have them accomplish personal accolades, is something that personally, and I think as an organization, that we try to place value in.
Don, when you're looking at the whole Konnor Griffin situation, and you're also thinking about Joey Bart, who had somewhat of a meteoric rise to the big leagues as well, drafted in 2018, he's making his debut a couple years later. Is that beneficial to perhaps have those guys talk with Joey Bart, with all of the expectations that came upon him getting into the big leagues so quickly, perhaps talking about the pitfalls of what could happen or maybe how to handle that situation? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's value in all and experience from other players all the time. When you sit there and you talk about things that, like I referenced earlier in an interview today, like I have a lot of experience in a lot of different areas, being a bench guy. Kratz and I can relate on a journey to the big leagues, and a lot of guys don't make it when they're especially 19, but when you're talking about even 21, 22, 23 years old, to get up there with that pressure, I can't relate to that. So to have guys around that can help with that experience and be able to give back is something that is hugely valuable, not just from Joey Bart, from a lot of guys on our team.
Have you relaxed today a little bit?
Have I?
Yeah. Well, O'Neill Cruz is back from WBC. He's healthy. Skeens made it through healthy looks like he was throwing 100 against DR the other night. Have you relaxed as a manager now that are all your guys back? Or is there someone on Venezuela that I'm missing?
No, I believe all of our guys are back. Well, Skeens isn't back yet, but he's done pitching.
He's not pitching anymore.
And that was fun to watch, wasn't it?
Oh, man,
my goodness. What
fracking that is that though, as a manager, when your best pitcher, one of your best players is out there playing, your guys leave camp, they go there. Is that nerve-wracking? And now they're back and healthy, or not back, but done and healthy.
Yeah, I guess so. I knowing Paul and our guys, like there's nobody that works harder, is more prepared, and does the things like his in between his starts is so impressive how he goes about it, the work that he puts in. So you know that he's taking care of himself, and and all of our guys do the same thing. And to your point, I really hadn't thought of that end, but yes, really glad to have them back. And Cruzy's in there today. Good to have him back in center field, and just really impressive what he was able to do
he had a good
on that stage. Really looking forward to a great year from him.
You think he can carry that over to the season?
I think he can. And I don't think it's necessarily from the WBC. His offseason was so good, and he challenged himself in a way that helped him prepare for the 26th season. And he came into camp ready to compete, ready to go. And I think that he showed that here before he left. And then
the biggest dude I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's unreal.
We got a lot of them with him and Skeens and Konnor Griffin playing shortstop at that size.
You're used to
Ashcraft.
seeing Skeens and some of the pitchers, but I'm not used to seeing a center fielder that I say, oh, I feel like Ken Rosenthal talking to Skeens the other night. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's crazy, isn't it? And how about he used to play short?
I know. Insane.
Donji, what's in your opinion, the biggest question mark going into camp? Is it the starting catching spot? Is it, what do you think it is? I mean, what do you need to see the final 9 days of this spring to determine who breaks camp for the most part? I know a lot of your positions are set, but is it the catching spot? What's the biggest question mark?
Yeah, I would say, catching, having Henry and Joey competing there. And I would say third base as well with York, Gonzalez, Triolo, and bringing Tyler Callahan in is another spot that we still have competition at. And I think that that's going to be fluid through the year and how guys are playing. And I think that the guys have embraced that. They've embraced that competition aspect of it, which has been fun to see because, we haven't had that at times here with the Pirates. And I think it's exciting because when you have that competition, there may be somebody that goes to AAA that maybe deserves to make the team, and somebody was just playing better at that time. So I think it's really exciting for where we're at right now and, what's to come for us in 26.
You mentioned your manager, Jimmy Leland. Who's your Don Kelly to his Jimmy Leland? You're Jimmy Leland and you're Don Kelly on this team. Not necessarily the utility guy that can do all things, but the guy that you're like, the way that Jim Leland talked about you, the guy, like, I think you even made him cry one time. Just the type of person, that you are. But who's that guy on this roster that could even go to AAA too?
Yeah, I think that may or may not have happened. I'm not sure, but I saw the bat impersonator guy which was pretty funny when he was doing Leland. For me, and it's a short period of time that I've gotten to know him, but Jake Mangum is that type of dude. I don't know if you guys have spent much time with him, but talking about a guy that's willing to do anything to help the team win. Fourth outfielder, fifth outfielder, pinch run, start games, switch hit, laying it all out there every single day. And just the way that he's approached camp and the conversations that I've had, he's a grinder, man. He brings it every single day, and he's willing to do whatever to help the team win.
Is Leland the guy you fashion your game most after as a manager?
I mean, I respect the crap out of him, playing for him, and everything that how he treated me. And the teams that I was a part of. We compete against you.
I told you
all the time.
That I told him the story at the BBWAA where when I was doing TV, we had the Tigers in the postseason, and you get the manager meeting for 15 minutes. You go in there, and Leland was talking about Don. You were hot one series, and there was a lefty starting, and I think someone asked Leland, well, "Why isn't Don Kelly starting?" Cigarette, blah, 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 with his voice. Don Kelly couldn't hit a lefty with a Bodor. You think I'm going to play him against a lefty? And I said, Jim, you know that I still play in your division. He goes, you're so freaking stupid. You won't remember this tomorrow anyways. We'll be fine. Right? And I'm like, okay, Jim, well, at least I know where I stand with you. And so, do you sit there after the game and I remember he would eat his food and he'd just sit around and answer the media as he's eating. Is that going to be your style?
Well, I haven't had a cigarette in a while. But I will say that the one thing that you knew where you stood with them. 100%. I knew I wasn't going to face a lefty, although we were talking about it the other day that there was one time he caught me off guard in the playoffs against the Yankees. He put me in as a defensive replacement, to go into right field for Maglio. Maglio was leading off the next inning against CC Sabathia, and
What'd you do?
I came down. Leland came walking down the dugout, and he was like, "Hey, can you bunt?" And he mumbled it, and there was so much going on. I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Can you bleep bunt?" And I was like, "Well, we're gonna find out." And I went up and laid down a bunt and actually got a base hit off of it. And so that was just the way his magic was, being able to communicate and be clear on it and tell you the truth all the time. And I think so. Hopefully, our guys would say that about me, that I would like to take over into this, minus the cigarette. I won't.
Do you throw BP in your underwear like he used to do? Because he used to go in Chicago. The people that don't know, in Chicago, the visiting cages were basically in the home clubhouse. So at the time, Jim had a son who was trying to play, and Leland would come over shirtless and just in his sliding shorts and throwing BP in the cages. So we'd walk in there. And I think he did it to distract us and ruin our day. So is that what you're doing?
I won't be doing that. No, but I wouldn't put it past him doing that for sure.
Oh, Don, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck this year. Have a great season with Pittsburgh, and we'll be right back on Foul Territory.
Thank you.
All right, guys, the Foul Territory Spring Training Tour is engineered by Fastenal. Check out fastenal.com for more information. Let's take a look at our Spring Training Tour calendar. Say that 5 times fast. Very few teams left. We've been rocking it over the course of Cactus and Grapefruit League. Let's get to our next guest in a minute. But first of all, Erik, let's talk about the camps that we've done. Of course, AJ is live at Pirates Camp. It looks like tomorrow we're at the Blue Jays. And then we round things out with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Hey, joined here by Bubba Chandler at Pittsburgh Pirates Spring Training Camp in Bradenton, Florida. We picked the wrong day to come here today.
Tough day.
It's freezing today.
Yeah, it's very cold. I was out there throwing, and I was like, "Why are my hands cold today?" And then I realized it's actually cold. So
yeah. Does that affect you as a pitcher?
No, I actually like it when it's cold.
Why?
Throwing some thermals because it's harder to hit.
Yeah, but don't your fingers go numb? Like my fingers, I'm not having you touch my hands, but they're cold.
Yeah, I think when it's cold, like I'll have a hot chocolate or coffee in the dugout, and I'll be good to go.
I mean, you played football in high school.
Yeah.
When you were QB, did you wear the little thing, the little fanny pack with the heat warmers in here?
Oh yeah.
Do you wish you had those when you were throwing out there today?
Yeah, that would be nice. But I saw Akshay Bhatia a couple of weeks ago, had him playing golf. And I'm like, I didn't know you could wear it in the competition, but maybe I'll try to wear it early in the year.
Do you think if you're out there on the mound and you put, say, one that matched your uniform on your back, could you pitch with that on?
Probably not. They'd say it'd affect the hitter or some stupid stuff. But
hey, hitters have feelings too, Bubba.
Hey, man, whatever.
Are you excited about this year and where you stand with this organization?
Yeah, I mean, what the front office did, bringing in some guys that, both on the hitting and pitching side is really cool to see. This is my first year, coming into camp, trying to win a job and get after it and set myself up. And the way the team looks this year, the way we're playing in camp, it's really fun to see. Winning a lot of games, having a lot of fun. The preparation daily is, something I haven't seen in ever since I've been a Pirate. Is guys are on their P's and Q's every day, and it's really cool and fascinating to see.
Have they told you anything? Starter? Because last year we were on here, and I'm like, why is he not starting if he's going to come in and throw 5 innings?
Yeah.
Right? Have they talked to you about starter, reliever?
I mean, no. I believe I'm a starter. They believe I'm a starter too. Last year was just kind of tough. Like, one thing I love about the Pirates is, we earn stuff around here, and I'm about that. And whether it's earning it during the season or earning it here in spring, that I think it creates a good precedent of if you want something, you got to go get it and got to earn it. And I think last year was kind of that in camp. It's like, hey, come out of the bullpen a couple times, and if you pitch well, hey, we may give you a start, may not, but you're going to earn it. And when you do get called to the big leagues, there'll be no doubt that you did earn it.
How was that communicated? Because I'll be honest, I came on the show and I had a problem with it. I even called one of the people that make decisions for you guys, and I was like, I watched this guy throw in the minor leagues, and I've talked to you last year in spring training. I feel like, one, you're mentally good enough, physically, you throw the ball well enough. I was very confused as why they called you up to put you in the bullpen, something that I don't think you'll ever do, and I don't think you should do. How was that communication? And also, how did you feel about that? Because did it feel like a little bit of a slight, or were you totally fine with it?
I don't want to say a slight. Like when I got to the big leagues, I was just so grateful and happy that, I kind of didn't necessarily care about it. And then, at the end of the season, kind of, self-assessed. I'm like, go back to my debut. And I'm like, wow, like I did come out of the bullpen, on my debut, the next game and the next game. And it's, it was kind of weird. I will say I was uncomfortable, but I mean, I look back at it now and I think, it set me up in a good way to, stuff got thrown at me that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with. And I think coming into this year, I know, how to get it done. And if I ever do get thrown into a role like that again, just roll with the punches and get after it. But yeah, definitely odd. But again, like, I say, talk about earning stuff. When I did get called up, I felt like I was in a slump and I didn't earn it. And, when I did get up to the big leagues, getting thrown in the pen was something I probably needed. And, happy it happened that way. But, starting is nice, having your routine. But, I was already so nervous already that day that, not starting was probably the best thing. Just get out in the bullpen, move around a little bit. When they call your name, just throw as hard as you can in the bullpen and run out there, suck and win, but get out there and get it done. And, look back at it and, grateful.
Roy Ruben Chandler. How does one become Bubba? Where did that name come from? I love it. I feel like you should be driving a NASCAR though. Where did the name come from and how did it stick?
My sisters growing up, they called me their brother, they're older than me, and they call me their brother, Bubba, and all that stuff. Just, something that, younger kids get when they're young, especially in the South. And, I thought that was my name when I got, competent enough to understand words. And so I just started saying it. And then my grandparents started saying it, parents started saying it. It kind of just stuck. And now we're here. And I sign checks with Bubba.
You go Ruben.
So a lot of our Latin players call me Ruben.
Really?
But they say in the cooler way.
Why do only the Latin players call you Ruben?
I don't know. Them and Henry Davis, because like Ruben. Yeah. Well, I don't know, but that's how it goes.
You're fun. I like your attitude. Let's clear something up for the people that are not paying attention or want to make something bigger than it is. So you said that Paul Skeens was spoon-fed, right? The meteoric rise, didn't have to really toil through the minor leagues. Obviously, that was a joke. So tell us how that whole thing went down and how much fun it is pitching in that rotation with that dude.
Not a joke, 100% serious. I'm just playing. I love Paul to death. I mean, you get to see it every 5 or 6 days. Like the passion that guy has and what he does, daily is something like, and I said it in the end of that interview, it's an example and guys should follow it. I try to sometimes, like some of his stuff I try to take, in his routine and his daily work. And, it shows that he's the best pitcher in baseball and, guys are chasing him. But yeah, that was unserious. I got a lot of flack for it, which, whatever, but it was funny. But yeah, hope they win tonight or tomorrow whenever they play and get him back in camp. But yeah, he's great.
It's tonight.
Great. It's tonight. Oh,
so
cool.
Tune in to
cool.
Fox.
I'll be there.
Fox,
I'll be there.
You tune in.
I'll be there. Will you be there?
You got the I wish I was gonna. Miami's a long way from Brady.
It is a long way. I made the drive a couple times.
But you got the little Paul Skeens look to you. You got the mustache going.
Yeah. Well, he looks like me.
Oh, he looks like you.
Looks like me.
You're a little smaller than he is, though.
Unfortunately, my heart's bigger. But yeah,
So when you did that interview, I saw it and I thought it was great. Right.
Yeah.
My wife saw it.
Yeah.
My wife goes, "Who's this guy in the Pirates? And why is he taking shots at Paul Skeens?" And I said, "Bubba Chandler." She says, "Yeah. I can't believe someone on his own team said those things about him." I said, "Well, they're roommates and best friends, and it was a complete joke." She's like, "It didn't come across like that."
Yeah.
I said, "No. They're like best friends."
Yeah. I mean, throwing back to like 2 years ago when I, said some smart stuff about, you're going to be the day 2 starter, whatever. When that video came out, me and Paul are sitting on the couch beside each other, Just like, God bless. Like, I can't catch
What
a
did
break.
he say? What did he say?
Yeah, I just think it's funny. You know, like, say, like, you know, kind of create some healthy competition. You know, we're competing with each other every day, but if the media, you know, thinks we hate each other, you know, so be it.
You clearly don't.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like, was it Major League when Dorn and Ricky Vaughn, you know, hug up or make up after, you know, they win the pennant or whatever they did. Maybe it'd be like that.
Okay.
Treat it like that.
Fair.
Even though we are good friends.
Just don't do what Rick Vaughn did to Dorn.
Yeah. No.
Let's get that off the record, okay?
Yeah.
We'll
do that. We'll do that.
Does he give it back to you? Does he give it like, because we never see any emotion from him. You are clearly, you're okay with being sarcastic out in the media. Does he give it back to you, or is he exactly like he's portrayed in the media, like just a robot and doesn't like, great joke, Bubba, that was awesome, leave me alone?
No, Paul's a boy. Paul's a dude. You know, he kicks back and hangs out, you know, busts chops, and, you know, he does you know, he's a very mellow and laid back person, you know, off the field, but he'll crack a joke, he'll bust your balls here and there, and, you know, that's what we love about him, is he's the same guy every day. And yeah, you know, I'm glad he did show some emotion after the end of that game. I don't know if you saw that video.
Oh, but,
you know, he's got it in him. He's got it in him.
See more of it.
Yeah, I do too. I wanted to say some cuss words coming off the mound into the first inning, opening day. Screw it.
What does he get on you about? We know what you get on him about, but what does he get on you about?
Not much. I'm pretty perfect. Nah, I don't know. I mean, I'll say he's helped me with a lot of things, you know, whether it's been like nutrition, you know, just habits, you know, off the field, you know, to help the body be in the right spot every 5 days. I'd say like that, you know, you know, he's fortunate enough to have a lot of connections that he's kind of passed down to me a little bit, which I'm, you know, I'm grateful for. I'd say like that, you know, is you have one job, and, you know, that's to take the ball every 5 or 6 days whenever they give it to you, and go out there and execute and do what you need to do. And how do you prepare yourself and set yourself up for success for the team is, you know, it's the only job you have, and you get 7 months a year to do it. So why not treat every day like it's, you know, that day? And I think that's what he's helped me with a lot. And, you know, I think early on, you know, in our friendship, you know, he was a lot more advanced in that category. And then now, you know, he's helped out, you know, I'm not afraid to say it. He's helped me a lot. And yeah, I love him to death.
What's that one you were talking about, nutrition? What's that one nutrition bad choice that you're going to make if you're like, all right, like this is a day that I can do something, that Bubba Chandler goes ahead and a cheat day per se?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I have a cheat day every week. You know,
every day is a cheat day.
Every day is a cheat day. Nah, you know, after I pitch, you know, I'll hit all my stuff, the proteins, the water, weight you've lost, all that good stuff. You know, I'm gonna wake up that next morning, and I'm probably gonna have a cinnamon roll, and that's my cheat. I love a cinnamon roll, man. I'd do a lot of things. If me and AJ had a big ass cinnamon roll sitting in front of us right now, it'd be great.
I crushed you with you though.
Yeah, but yeah, that's, you know. Sometimes, you know, we'll get some breakfast in the morning. You know, I may have a cinnamon roll, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Look, man, I pitched yesterday. This is my reward. But yeah, you know, I eat a lot of steak and rice, ground beef and rice, chicken and rice. It sucks, but my body feels pretty good. Yeah, feel pretty good.
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's,
Taco
Bell. That's probably not good.
Yeah, I've never been a
that's the difference
fast food guy.
Between back when Kratz and I played, that was our happy meal. We go and get that. Now you guys go home and I'm gonna have a steak and rice.
Yeah, I'll crush some Chick-fil-A here and there. Like
if you're friends with Skeens, don't you have to have Canes, because Canes was paying them all that money at LSU? So
yeah, God bless. They're still paying them money. I do like Canes. There's a Canes in Athens where I live. It's always packed, so I never go, but it's pretty good. Chick-fil-A is my spot. If I'm gonna do that, it's pretty good.
Okay, what about Konnor Griffin? You're kind of a young guy, high school guy. You're a veteran now compared to him. Do you have any advice for him?
Yeah.
Going through what he's kind of going through?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm 23. He's 4 years younger than me, and he is going to be a big leaguer very soon. It's kind of wild to think about where I was at 19. Insane, but I love KG. I mean, that dude, you know, if someone didn't know who he was and you talk to him for 10 minutes, you're like, wow, like that guy, I have no idea. He's probably had a great career. He probably, has a nice family and everything. Like, he's a great person. Like, oh shit, he's 19. Like, it's kind of insane, very fortunate to get to know him. Get to know his wife, Dindy. She's all like, they don't act like they're 19, and that's cool. Like, I think that's pretty sweet. And yeah, like, you're gonna see it. Whether he makes the team opening day or he gets called up, the last day of the season. He's gonna go dominate wherever he's at. It's gonna be fun to watch, and can't wait to be teammates with him one day. And
opening day,
yeah, I'd be sick. That'd be really cool. I think a lot of guys here deserved it and worked their tail off and played well in camp. That deserve whatever spots open. But yeah, I think like KG gets a lot of the praise, as he should. And I thoroughly enjoy watching him play. If I'm not playing, I'm tuning into the game and watching us 1 through 9. And the announcers always talk about KG. It's like, yeah, like as they should. Like, that guy, he's had 1 year of professional baseball, but it's been one of the better years in recent years for a prospect. And super stoked that we have him. And super stoked to see where he ends up.
Do you guys talk about that as teammates, guys in camp right now? Because you guys want to put the best team out on the field, but you also know if you're like, man, I hope KG, as you call him, is going to make the team, and then like Nick Gonzalez is over there like, well, what about me? Like, I want to be a part. Like, so I think it's hard as players. How much do you guys talk about
it? I mean, not a whole lot. Like, you kind of leave that stuff up to the front office and the guys that are way smarter than us making decisions. And, I think, like I said, on the pitching side, like the competition daily is, it's what's needed. And, we asked for it and that's what we got. And, it's making everybody better, but in reality, it's making the team better, which is what we need and what we've been looking for the last handful of years. And, I think everybody puts their head down every day when they come here, gets after it, has fun, and, rinse and repeat every day. And that's the plan that we have, for the entire season. We're going to look up, keep our head down, look at our toes, and look up in November, and, probably be pretty dang happy. So that's the goal, and that's the mindset.
Well, Bubba, thank you. And I must say this, Kratz, you guys know where I stand on college sports teams. One of the smartest guys I know, because you know why? He decommitted from Georgia. We all know what a deep hatred I have for the University of Georgia.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that, even though you didn't go to college. Like, I didn't go to college.
Yeah.
As a Gator fan, we can live with Clemson. Yeah. We don't really like Georgia.
Yeah.
So
well,
thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I do train at the University of Georgia. So
you can train wherever you
yeah, I'm not, I love Wes Johnson. I love all the guys at Georgia, but not a huge fan of the University.
Yes, he just became one of my favorite players. So thank you, Bubba. We really appreciate Ruben. Thank you, Ruben.
No problem.
We appreciate it, and we'll be right back on Foul Territory. Well, one of the guys in that video is here with me now, Joey Bart, catcher and ex-teammate of Erik Kratz, I believe, for what, a day or two? How many days were you guys teammates there, Kratzy?
4 seconds. He wasn't actually, yeah.
What did he say, about 48 hours?
He said 4 seconds.
4 seconds. I feel. What did you come in like the last day of camp?
It was
maybe not even.
I went to the last day of camp, the exhibition games, and then the season started, and you got fired right after that.
Yeah. I couldn't remember. I know it wasn't long, but I remember you being there.
Hey, who was a greater giant, me, Joey, or you, Kratzy? Who was the best giant of the three of us?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say, because you brought it up, it's you, because we want it always to revert back to you. But that was the year that I hit 300 for 3 different teams. I hit 100 for the Giants, I hit 100 for the Rays, and I hit 100 for the Yankees.
Well, but I didn't mean it like that, because I'm like, Giants fans love me. So I figured that you actually might win this one, Kratzy. The 3 of us.
Kratzy was a legend there. For sure.
Don't you look at my stats? It was not good. Joey Bart was the next coming, but you know what? Now he's a Pirate. Now he's a Pirate without an eye patch or a wooden leg.
What was that journey like for you? Because you were a super high pick coming out of college, right? And then you go there with all the hype, and you have Buster there, so you're kind of like, and then you have to follow him. What's it like then now to come to Pittsburgh, kind of get a fresh start and really take off?
Right, yeah. I think in baseball that was just kind of a, kind of a transitional, kind of crazy time. You know what I mean? I feel like I got into my first season, and the next thing you know, I was in the big leagues. And the next thing you know, Buster came back. I was back in the minor leagues. So I feel like it was kind of flip flopped. I kind of got to the big leagues with, I think it was probably like 250 or not even 300, minor league at bats. So I feel like my development in a way was kind of a little different than most, and obviously the season being canceled and. But there's a lot of cool things to learn there, and I learned a ton of things. There's a lot of good people in San Francisco, man, all around, and I think everybody has their own kind of way, and everybody finds their spot. You know what I mean? And just really battling and every day trying to get better, and provide the most as a player. And that's kind of where it's become here in Pittsburgh, and I've been enjoying it over here.
What's the one piece of advice that you can give to somebody who didn't spend a lot of time in the minor leagues and then gets thrust right into a team like you guys for the Pirates that's trying to win? Because when you got called up to the Giants, they weren't like, you know what, we're in a rebuild, we're going to try to win.
Yeah, man, that franchise wants to win. That's what's awesome about the Giants, the fan base. Everybody over there is great. I think especially kind of my first full go there in 22. Coming off that 21 season, that 107 win season, the expectations were high, and we came out of the gates pretty well there and kind of hit a stall. But we were very competitive, obviously. A lot of good players, a lot of good talent over there, and as you see, some of the guys, some of my buddies over there still there, Logan Webb, guys like that really came into their own and really figured it out. You know what I mean? And it's definitely a cool place.
First base, and obviously catching. What's that been like for you? Obviously trying to get the majority of playing time behind the plate, but kind of still making your way there with the Buccos.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to find ways to get as many at bats as possible. It's really what it comes down to, especially left-handed at bats. Is something to my strength. So if we can get get me out there more against lefties or just really on the field, optimize at bats is really the goal.
What speaking of O'Neal Cruz, I just saw him in the locker room in there. Is he the biggest dude you've ever seen in your life?
Man, he's an absolute freak. I think we had
Kutcher, and he called him an avatar. The way he looks like an avatar just because of his body and the way he looks and how athletic he is. It's insane.
It's unbelievable. When I came over here, this guy is hitting balls like 120 something miles an hour, and everybody's walking around the dugout like it's normal, and I'm like over here trying to understand what's going on, you know what I mean? Then you see him throw balls 100 miles an hour from the outfield, steal bases at, when everybody in the stadium knows he's running, he's gone and off and safe. And dude, this guy's got it, man. I think he's really come in this spring too, locked in. So I'm excited to see him play. Obviously, I was actually just messing with him. They didn't give him a ton of playing time, but when he did, man, when they did over there, he hit 2 homers. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, they couldn't get you out there, but he's locked in. He's ready to go.
Tough lineup. I mean, who are you going to take out? Julio, Soto?
Yeah, that's Tatis is out there. Yeah. That team's stacked, man. So it's good to see him.
Hopefully,
back.
You said USA too. You just walk by him and just kind of go USA.
No, man. I think they're kind of, they're probably. I would be very disappointed, obviously, but I just kind of picked them up and said, "Man, you guys killed it. You look good," and excited to see Cruzy do his thing here.
Brings me to the point that we used to play the game. Like if you could switch with somebody in the big leagues, obviously you're talking about O'Neal Cruz could hit the ball 120 miles an hour. You can throw it 100 miles an hour. Is there a dude that you've seen in the big leagues that you're like, I kind of wish like I could be him for like 1 year? And just play it out. Not talking about the money, just playing the game of baseball in that guy's shoes for an entire season.
Man, that's a good question. Growing up for me, it was Brian McCann. Where I'm from, being from Atlanta, I always, BMAC was, gosh, he's going to live not far from me now. And, just being a catcher, being a hitter, you know what I mean? Just being kind of the full package there for a while. That was a guy that I always kind of looked up to.
Is he big league now when you see him?
I haven't seen him in a while, man. It's been a while.
If you walked up to BMAC, would he know who you are?
I would hope so.
I
know he's still tapped into the game. Obviously, he's on the staff there with the WBC. But yeah, man, BMAC, I've heard so many cool stories, and so many. Obviously, watched a ton of his career, and I actually used to hit with his brother. Coming in, I think it was probably my sophomore year of college. I was messing around, hitting with his brother a little bit, trying to pick up on some things. So that's just kind of like a legendary name where I'm from.
Joey, why is Paul Skeens as good as advertised? I mean, you've been around him now a couple of years. He's, in my opinion, the face of baseball when it comes to pitching. Perhaps he and Tarek Skubal on the American League side. But what makes him just must-watch TV?
I think he just knows he's the best. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. He just knows he is. I mean, I was talking to my agent the other day before, I guess 2 days ago, at dinner, and before he pitched against the DR, I was like, man, this guy's gonna lock it down. I mean, I've never seen him not rise to the occasion. He's the ultimate escape artist when guys get on base. We're always laughing about it in the dugout. Whenever he gets into a jam, the moment never gets there. You know what I mean? He's always ready for it, and he gets himself out of it. But I mean, I think you can look at the substance, obviously, of what he's done, and you could probably say it's really never been done before. And the way he attacks every day is on a whole nother level, and his really mindset mentality is elite, and that's why he does what he does.
Have you ever seen emotion out of him? Because there's so many memes of him like getting his awards, and he's like the nonchalant final boss. But you talk about confidence. Usually, I think of guys that have confidence as dudes that don't show any emotion because they're just like, yeah, that's what I want to do. But have you ever seen emotion out of him?
The most emotion I've seen out of him, I think, was what everybody was posting the other night after they won the game. I mean, I think, we have fun together, obviously. He's locked in. Try to get him to have as much fun as he can, you know what I mean, other than just dominating at all times. But I would say that's the most emotion I've seen out of him for sure. When he's here, man, it's just business all day, every day. Obviously, he's a great dude, brings a lot to the clubhouse as well. But, when he gets on there, when it's his day, you better watch out because he's coming.
By the way, you've seen the meme where he was looking at Bobby Witt smiling, and they cut it against when he was won his Rookie of the Year, and they're like, Bobby Witt versus Paul Skeens winning Rookie of the Year.
I actually have not seen that, but I mean, you're talking, 1A, 1B with those two players there.
Does he have fun? Does Skeens have fun? I mean, you mentioned all business, like,
yeah,
but it's so when you see him smile, you are just.
No, he has fun, man. I think he's from when he first came up to the big leagues till now. I've been able to see that. He has
You
fun.
Get tired of answering Paul Skeens questions?
Not really.
Everybody asking. I mean,
I don't blame you guys, man.
He's not huge out there. So,
yeah.
So it's like Shohei.
Right.
Everyone wants anything on Shohei.
Right.
Skeens is kind of the same way. Skubal, he throws himself out there a little more. Skeens is just so business oriented.
Yeah.
You never hear him talk that much.
Yeah, he doesn't, man. I think that's just who he is, and I like that about him. I think it would be weird if he changed and all of a sudden he's trying to take over the spotlight. I mean, he already does that with what he does, but he has fun, man. We have a blast together and in the clubhouse and on the road trips and stuff. We always try to go out to dinners and have fun.
Pay?
Yeah, I think he chips in. He chips in.
You have to pay now because you're ARB guy, so now you have to pay.
Yeah, we had some guys last year that actually wouldn't let anybody pay, which were great teammates. But there were some times where it was like, all right, man, you can't eat this bill anymore. Let someone else pick it up. Well, at least we'll split it a couple ways.
Okay. You went to Georgia Tech. You're from the Atlanta area.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about Georgia Tech and catchers? They've had from Veritech to you. They have a really good catcher this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen
really good catcher. Yeah.
What is it about Georgia Tech and catchers that's made it such a great place to go?
We were actually talking about this yesterday. Erik Patterson, former Tech legend, man. He's our AAA manager here, and we'll be in Indianapolis. And everybody asks that question. I don't think we have an answer, honestly. I mean, I think they do a good job of recruiting, but at the same time, the kid they have now, their Lackey, was kind of an under-the-radar guy. I think he got an offer like at the very end of his high school career, I think is what he told me. And he's kind of just taken off with it, man. So I don't know if there's, I don't really know if there's an answer to that question other than like it's just kind of like the tradition there, and it just kind of time repeats itself and a new guy shows up that's pretty good.
Have you seen Drew Burress?
Oh yeah, I've seen that guy. He's got it, man. He's got it.
And he's tiny.
He's a little guy, but he doesn't play like a little guy.
No.
You know what I mean? I think I had a scout tell me he's just got bad intentions at the plate, and I was like, that's exactly what I see. You know,
they're good. They're supposed to be good this year. They are good so far.
They went into Clemson, which is something we've always struggled with when I was there, to beat them in Clemson, and I think they won 2 out of 3, and they play good ball. So I'm excited for what Ramsey and those guys have going on down there.
And by the way, the answer is Georgia Tech's a really smart school.
Yeah.
So you got to have smart people.
Yeah.
And catchers are the smartest guys on the field. So it's just a natural thing. That's your answer.
That's
I'm going to ask you that. You're saying, hey, catchers are the smartest. We are a smart school, so we have to have smart guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't argue there.
Okay. Well, Joey, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, from one legend of the Giants to another, and another on the screen on the right. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great year.
Yeah.
Continued success, and go Pirates.
Let's go, man. Appreciate you guys.
Always appreciated. Since we are at Pirates camp today, Erik, let's go through some of their stats heading into the 2026 season. Just as far as win projections are concerned in the National League Central, some may find this a little bit hard to believe, but according to Fangraphs, I believe, it looks like the Cubs are set at 86 wins, but it's the Buccos, EK, at 83 1/3. They're second in the division. What say you?
I mean, it's just so hard to increase your win total that much, but I go to one thing.
Okay.
I go to the stat that Paul Skeens would be, and I know this is his career, and so I don't know exactly what it would be from last year. He'd be 43-1 to start his career if they scored 3 or more runs in every one of his starts. So it's hard to say a team is going to improve their win total that much. But when you delve into it and you go, okay, this team did play good defense last year. Yes, they don't have Ke'Bryan Hayes for any part of the year this year, but they still played good defense. They added so much offense, which was something that they were really, really struggling with last year. They had some spurts where they would score some runs, but in general, they would score 3, 2, then they'd break out for a 4-run game. And to me, this year, the fact that they added offense in Brandon Lau, in Ryan O'Hearn, in Marcell Ozuna, 3 guys that are really going to be major pieces to this lineup, and I think 20-plus home runs. Each of them would have led the team in home runs last year had they been on the team. I think that number's not as crazy. I think they're more of a 500 team this year, but 83 puts them in the conversation for making a playoff push.
All right, you mentioned the additional offense. You mentioned Ryan O'Hearn. Of course, you mentioned Marcell Ozuna. We got Gregory Soto, Jose Urquidy, which I know, whatever, it's not offense. But Brandon Lau, password, when you think about, I can never say his name right, but it's like just Nixon Garcia. Of course, I will get that right at some point in my life. And Jesus Travieso. So is the addition bigger than the subtraction? Because let me talk to you, EK, about the losses. Obviously, Andrew McCutchen, Tommy Pham, Johan Oviedo, Mike Burrows, Chase Shugart, and Jack Sowinski. I do think the addition is bigger than the subtraction. Is that fair to say?
I do. I totally do. I think the only issue is they traded away some of that pitching to get some of this offense. And you see the best teams in the league. You see the fact that the Phillies are like, we might need to add somebody else. We only have 6 starters. The Dodgers are like, hey, we'll run in the season with 8, 9 starters. The Red Sox, every one of these teams that have playoff aspirations go, we're fine with extra. The Blue Jays just picked up Max Scherzer, and it's like, well, did you really need him? They're fine with extra because every team knows they're going to go through a decent amount of starting pitching. So I think that would be where the additions would even remotely come close to the subtractions. But I still believe that the additions were way out exceed the subtractions. But the subtractions of losing some starting pitching, the depth may come back to hurt them in a full 162 game season.
Yeah, according to Baseball Reference, it's Joe Stinson Garcia. We call him the password.
Oh, that's
obviously.
so easy. That's so easy, especially when you see it. When you see it written, you're like, I'm not seeing Joe
I know,
Stinson.
and I should know better. I should know better. I did a little bit of the stuff covering the Red Sox last year. I will get better. I promise you that. All right. So in terms of their Pittsburgh playoff odds, Erik, you talk about the winning the division, 25.7%. I think it's probably fair to say as we get into the season, we're probably thinking the Cubs are going to lead the NL Central. So clinching the division, 7.2%, clinching the wild card rather, 19.3%, and making the postseason just under 50% at 45%. Winning the division, 25.7. Too low, too high?
Again, it feels like it's too high. It feels like you have a team that's perennially hated in the Brewers with these predictions, and yet they went out and won the most games last year. Then they get rid of Freddie Peralta, and you're like, oh, no chance they're going to do it. So I have a hard time saying that 25% is too high. So I'm saying it's too low. I feel like it's too high. I feel like 25% chance. To me, I think it's a 2-horse race in the NL Central, and I would give the Pirates more of like a 10 or 15% chance to win the division. It doesn't mean they're out of the playoff contention, but just to win the division, I think the other teams are a little bit deeper.
It's funny that you say that you see them as a 500 team, because that would be 81 and 81. Now, Fangraphs is the one that has them at 83.3, but BetMGM has them at 78.5. So is BetMGM too low? I mean, it's so funny because it's like they're so close on either side of the line. What do you think about that?
I would love the over on that one. So I appreciate you, BetMGM, for helping us all out on that. I do like the over. I feel like to say they're a 3 games below 500, or actually, yeah, technically it'd be a little bit, but it's, to me, I take the over there because I think there is a chance, and they're playing in the NL Central. I think there's a lot of wins to be had from the fact that the Reds are losing Hunter Green, but they're still going to be good. The fact that the Cardinals, I think that's where teams are going to, the teams that have finished above 500 in the division are the ones that are going to be able to take 2 of 3 every time from the Cardinals. That's 13 games, win 10 of those. That could be the difference in the division, is how do you beat up the Cardinals? Because everybody else in the division is good. Are they elite? No, I think the Cubs had a chance to be elite, but they made their moves, and they're going to go with the team that they have, and I think they're a little bit above average, but everybody else is good besides the Cardinals.
Okay. Speaking of MGM, let's get into Monday's locks from yesterday, if you will. It looks like Scott was the only one that was correct. He had Venezuela at -1.5, so he's only down now -125. We'll get into BetMGM here momentarily. I guess we're going to do something else. We're waiting for Konnor Griffin, by the way, which would be actually pretty cool if we could get this 19-year-old phenom on the show. Here we do. They came to win the WBC, and we're talking again about World Baseball Classic. Of course, the final is tonight. So here we're talking about Olympic qualification was a surprising part of the deal. I mean, the ensuing results. What are we talking about here?
Yeah. No, so when you make the WBC, when you make it to a certain round, certain teams qualify then for the Olympics, because there's always qualifiers. I've been fortunate. Let's see, where's my hat? Nope, that's the wrong one. This hat right here, I got to play for Team USA, and it has the WBC, whatever, insignia on the back. And it's the old WBC insignia, but it wasn't a WBC game. But there's qualifiers. So if you win the tournament, obviously you get the trophy, you get the medal, whatever. But if you're the top 8, then you qualify for whatever the next preliminary round is. And if you don't make that, then you have to go to another tournament. So there's a lot of stuff like that. And I think basically you read it, but the remaining clubs in WBC, half the field are fighting for the 2 bids, not only in Dominican, Puerto Rico, and Venezuela, but Canada as well. And so they were bidding to make it to the 2028 Olympics, which I think is going to be big leaguers.
All right. Well, we have a guest coming up, and it's a big guest. Excited to welcome Konnor Griffin to the show. Of course, AJ is live at Pirates camp. Is this kid going to make the opening day roster? We shall tell. Hi, guys.
You can ask. Oh, wait, we're here. Never mind.
Yeah, we're here. Hi.
All right. Say hi to Konnor.
Hi, Konnor. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
It's nice of you to sign autos for kids, but you're kind of a kid yourself, my friend. I can say that to you because I literally am old enough to be your mother. But it has been so much fun just hearing about your story, watching the way that you go about your business. What has camp been like for you, and kind of what have the conversations been for you as they're getting ready to break camp here soon?
Yeah, it's been a great camp for me. They're throwing me in the fire, letting me get the reps. Playing shortstops, getting to play on the road, go face some really good starters. So, kind of just let me go compete, see what happens, and it's been great. The locker room's been awesome. Everybody's just kind of taking me in, and it's a really fun locker room to be around.
So he was signing over here for all. There's a line of kids over here, and one of the old people yelled for me to come over and sign. So I walked over, and the kids were like, "Can you get Konnor Griffin to sign for us?" And then O'Hearn was over here doing an interview, and they're like, "Konnor," and it was Ryan O'Hearn. So he probably feels pretty good about himself today.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just trying to take care of the kids, man. Those are the biggest fans, and it's kind of cool to hear a lot of kids want my autograph. I was in that position when I was younger. And that's pretty cool to be in the position I am.
I saw you talking to Ozuna today in the locker room. What was that conversation like with a guy like Ozuna who's had the career that he's had?
Yeah, I mean, we were just kind of walking through, being more selective through ABs. How can I, take advantage of walks, taking advantage of 2-0 count? Because if I get on base, it helps the team. I'm going to try to steal. I'm going to try to be aggressive. Ball in the gap. I'm trying to score. He just wanted to emphasize, like, hey, be patient. People know the name. And that's fine. There's a lot of great players that pitchers know the name of, but be patient, be selective, get your pitch, take your walks if you have to, and take advantage of it. So we're just walking.
Have you thought about learning Spanish so that you can have an even better hitting conversation with Marcell Ozuna?
I can understand it a little bit. Definitely need to work on it some more, but he speaks pretty good English, so it was a good conversation.
He speaks really good English, not pretty good English. He speaks really. I mean, we had a conversation, not the one you were in depth with, but we had a short conversation.
Yeah, it's legit, so it's good.
Is that everyone to you? Does everyone treat you, even though you don't have a ton of older veteran guys, even the younger guy? I mean, even like a Brandon Lau, Ryan O'Hearn, Reynolds. These guys aren't that old. Do they still treat you like a younger pup, or are they treating you with the respect of a veteran?
I think it's a little in between. They let me be. They want me to get the experience. They want me to go through some ups and some downs, and they're super open to questions if I have any. And they've made that important, or they emphasize that. So it's been really good. There's a lot of great experience. I can pick their brains, and it's helped me out a lot.
Is there anybody that you're kind of like, oh man, he's coming, he's going to give me a hard time? I know. Oh, great, O'Hearn's here, or who's that guy in camp right now?
I'm gonna say Nick York. Nick York is always picking on me, but no, he's been great too.
I'm gonna pick on you. You're 19 years old. You're playing shortstop. You got a chance to break with the big league club. You were what? What pick were you in the draft?
9.
You were 9th pick in the draft, so you're already rich. You're good looking, right? Like what can we possibly pick on you about?
Nah, he's just always messing with me. It's a good time. We're locker buddies, so he's like a brother now. So
the only thing I could say is like Morgan Wallen, the way I talk, maybe with you got the Southern accent going.
I guess so. That could be something, but
I mean, because there's not a lot to pick on here.
No, but no, it's like I said, it's been really fun.
The Southern accent and Morgan Wallen, the way I talk, is another reason that nobody can pick on him. Okay, AJ, let's get that straight right now. All right, Konnor, I understand it is not your decision. I understand it is above your pay grade. Taking all of the front office stuff out of it, you are the opening day starting shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates because tell us more about your game.
I would just say, because I'm prepared. I've been training for this for my whole life, and I've got the opportunities here in big league camp to get the experience, face the big league pitching, And I feel confident with myself. I feel confident with my preparation, how I go about the day, how I'm handling things. And, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to bring a lot of energy. I'm a 5-tool guy. I can, affect the game on the offensive side, hitting, stealing bags, stuff like that. Defensive side, I can affect the game there as well. So I bring a lot of tools, and that's what I'm confident in.
People don't know a ton about you, but you just got married, so now you have an issue. When you get called up, whether it's opening day or not, who's the first person that's getting called? Because I follow your dad on Twitter ever since I coached you in the All-American game out in Seattle. Like, I've been enamored with it. But who gets the first call?
My wife will get the first call for sure.
Wow, over the parents?
Well,
Yes.
it's not over the parents. It's just she's my person. She's here every day with me now, and I owe it to her to give her the call, and then my parents will be
Might want a 3-way call.
That's right. Maybe
a 3-way call.
Yeah, three-way FaceTime.
Yeah.
So I got a super good circle of family and friends, and there's a lot of great people that have helped me get to where I'm at, and I'm gonna make sure all of them are in the know for sure.
Best player from Jackson Prep.
I gotta say Jake Mangum.
I knew.
I gotta say Jake. Gotta give him some credit.
That's awesome. All right, so I have to say this before Kratz gets on here. So Kratz has this theory that no one from Mississippi can be a good hitter.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And I rattled off Will Clark, Rafi Palmeiro, Mangum, Brent Rooker, and he goes, no, high school guys that are drafted out of high school. So look in the camera right there and say, Kratz, you're wrong. There are good hitters that went to high school in Mississippi.
You're wrong, man. There's great hitters that come from Mississippi.
AJ's trolling me because it was something that I said that a scout, the idea of hitters, high school hitters. Have you heard that? The idea was repeating what I had said before was the scout said it is so hard to draft or draft high right-handed or not right-handed high school hitters out of the state of Mississippi. What do you have to say to those idiot scouts?
Yeah, man, I heard it a lot through my draft process that I had a hit tool problem, and the competition wasn't great in Mississippi. That's all just really talk. There's been a lot of great players. He just named a ton of great players that have come from Mississippi, and if you go down and watch some high school baseball, you'll get some good competition. You'll watch a good game. So I'm proud to be from Mississippi and just trying to continue that legacy of creating my path in the big leagues, being from Mississippi. So that's what I'm here to do.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
I was a big Braves fan, so I always liked watching Chipper Jones highlights. I wasn't old enough when he was playing to really watch him, but I was always watching the Braves.
So you could have said me.
Could have said you, but Chipper Jones came to my head first. So.
You could have said me. That was about the right. He's 19. That was 10 years ago. That would have been about the right age.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but Chipper's in the Hall of Fame. We love you, AJ.
True.
But Chipper's in the Hall of Fame. All right,
Listen, I from Chipper too.
Yeah, you're from Mississippi. Are you a Hardy fan? What do you do for fun? Like, do you listen to music? Do you listen to you're 19, you play baseball, obviously, but you're very dedicated to your craft. What do you do for fun?
Love music. Country music is awesome. Love going to, finding concerts. Been a few more to Wallen. I want to go to Riley Green. That's next on my list.
He's an Alabama fan.
We had him on
Green's
yesterday too, Riley Green.
Well, maybe we can find a connection.
Player,
okay.
Country
okay.
thing.
I love to hunt, love to fish in the off season. So that's what I like to do when I'm away from the field and just spend time with my family.
You got to connect. You got to connect with Hardy.
Alanna, earmuffs. What's your favorite thing?
Big into deer.
Deer.
Yeah, deer hunting.
You have a place?
I don't have a place, but I got a lot of family friends and that have good connections.
Pretty soon you're gonna have to get your own place.
That's the dream. That one day can have my own spot and be able to go there whenever I want. So.
Listen, that's my husband's dream too. He hunts, he fishes, he does all the things. I don't do it, but he does it. He loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it.
That's awesome.
Listen, me too. So I can't knock you. Are you a State or Ole Miss fan?
Ole Miss. Yeah.
Well, this interview's over now. Sorry. Because my daughter went to state.
Okay.
So I have a little bit of connection to state. Ole Miss, not a fan. Apologies. Anyway, it's awesome that I really appreciate you coming on with us. I think we're going to break. I'm not sure because my Slack is not working. So I think we're going to, if not, we are going to break.
We'll be right back.
We really hope that everything works out for you
Appreciate it.
this week. Have a great career. We know you will. And we'll be right back here on Pal Territory.
All right. So our Monday locks for BetMGM. It looks like Scott was the only one that had a good day. Did a good job. I don't know how you want to say it. Scott with Venezuela -1.5. He's down only 125. I guess he's still down more than you guys are. But you, Erik, and AJ, down a lot.
He's up. He's up. His bet was at -125. He got it right.
Okay,
Me and AJ got it wrong. We had the money. We had the game being a little bit more high scoring. There was chances, but every time they left a runner out on base, our chances got less and less of them scoring 10+ runs.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Erik, what is your lock for tonight?
I'm taking the under tonight. The under was set at 8.5.
That's a lot of runs, right?
It is. To score 9 is big, but I mean, both these offenses are really good. But I'm also looking at this is where I'm a little nervous, is the fact that Venezuela, who are they going to be able to throw? They're not throwing, they're not throwing people off the street out there. They still have big leaguers that are going to be pitching in the game, but who's going to be available for them? And with these offenses, either one of these offenses can take control of this game. I took the under just because it feels like one of those playoff games where anybody gets into trouble, it's going to be a quick hook. We're not going to be sitting there going, yeah, he walked 3, gave up 4 hits. Like, you're just not going to have that kind of leash tonight. And so I feel like it's going to be an under because of the absolute rocket arms that are coming out of these bullpens.
AJ, do you agree? What is your absolute lock for the game, for the finale tonight of the WBC?
USA wins. I'm taking run line. I think it's -1.5 runs USA plus -135. I mean, come on. America. Love you, Venezuela. Love my friends from Venezuela, Ozzie Guillen, Salvi Perez, all the people from Venezuela, Johan Santana, Robinson Trinos, who's a coach for Venezuela. I love you guys, but you think I'm going against USA tonight? No chance.
Just because we love the USA, it doesn't mean we're not respectful and love the other countries or the other people. I mean, this is where we're from. This is where we're born. Okay, this is it.
I know. I just wanted to throw that out there, Alanna, because some people get confused. I love everybody.
America. Right. All right, guys, it has been a day. The world's top baseball stars go head-to-head in the WBC. Join the excitement and make your WBC moment when you bet with boosted odds. Activate your odds boost token for any WBC bet, and you'll receive a bigger payout if your bet wins. It's been great to be with you guys. Again, don't forget, Scott Braun is back tomorrow. That's going to do it for us.